Hello, CD again. Last time we met, we spoke briefly about two questions that are very closely related, very similar, yet distinct. One, what is truth? And secondly, how do we know what truth is? What criterion, what are the means by which we determine truth from error, truth from falsehood? The 17th century evangelist John Wesley, and also the West's most significant religious ruler, historically speaking, John Wesley said that there were four criterions by which we know truth from error, and that's reason and experience, and scripture and tradition. If reason and experience comprises the totality of science, there are many years scientific endeavor builds upon itself, upon reason and experience and experiments. If reason and experience comprises the totality of science, then scripture and tradition comprises the totality of religion and humanity's involvement with its dealings with religion. An atheistic philosopher, Jean Paul Sartre, said that the task of creating meaning and purpose for ourselves apart from God was a very terrible burden, something that a lot of the atheists today seem to have forgotten or don't really believe. But the story goes that Sartre was giving a talk in which he said that God was humanity's last great hope, to which there was much cheering and applause. And then Sartre said, no, he said, God was our last great hope and our last great refuge. Scripture and tradition means, among many things, it means certainly this for me, that I'm not left the sole burden like Atlas with the world on his shoulders. I'm not left with the whole burden, the awful burden, as Sartre described it, of creating my own meaning and purpose for myself. If ever I thought that, I no longer do. I think many of us are like G.K. Chesterton in his book Orthodoxy, who set out to find his own heresy only to discover the orthodox faith, the faith of others, the traditions, the teachings of the church and of Scripture. I'm sure glad that I do not have that awful burden of creating my own meaning and purpose, but it's there in the Scriptures, as I found, and the teachings of the church, the tradition and the experience of many other Christians before me. How about you? What do you believe? How can we determine truth from error? Think about that. Reason, tradition, scripture, experience, those four means of determining truth from falsehood. Thank you.